my calendar, so I'll forget.
It's a cold day.
What are you doing today?
Y'all keep talking.
That's right there. It's not really
Ladies, gentlemen, keep chattering into work.
Unlock. Whoever the person was who came in yesterday at the thermostat on 49 and came in today with the thermostat on 49, it is now locked. So you cannot touch it. So if I know who you were, because I've told you not to touch it, I'm going to write you up. Do not touch the thermostat. So now it's locked, so you can touch it all you want, it's not going to change. So for those of you who are happy or unhappy, whatever, the temperature is what it's going to be.
Is it hot?
Yeah.
I'll take off my shirt.
You know the episode when it's like, don't
No.
touch with those
Oh, no, I don't think that. That was a good
That's
exercise.
just reminded me.
Ladies, gentlemen, get to work.
I finished.
Yeah, you're finished. It's like,
No,
well,
you should
start.
go ahead and chopped off like a picture of it and then put, don't touch
And a
it.
hatchet.
I'm not that much.
Not bad, Mike. I'm not that much of a fan.
Alabama wins by 17. Write it down.
Instead of we.
Alabama wins by 17. Write it down.
Wait, who they playing?
What am I
Tennessee.
right now?
Auburn loses by 26.
Alabama does not cover. Alabama does not cover minus 28.
Oh, I'm sorry, but we're number one.
Alabama does not cover this curriculum.
I didn't say Alabama's not going to win. They're just not going to win by 28.
What?
You're like so serious.
Don't talk about Alabama like that.
We'll talk about you.
I don't really like
So,
them.
let's talk about politics.
Alright, so yeah,
No, I was kidding.
Alright. And I got all excited for a second, Savannah. I blame
I
you.
mean,
No, I
Alabama
was
is a
just
better
kidding.
team.
Because y'all are
So
talking
they
about
play
football, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I can't do this.
Old Tennessee.
Hey, hey. I feel weird.
I'm not going to say that Tennessee can't win that game,
They're not
but
gonna win.
it's going to be a really
It's a Bama game. Bama nation.
AJ McCarron has to throw 3 picks. 3 picks. Tennessee can win.
Hey, Mr. Bassett, is it Sosa or is it football?
Actually. We like football more.
While y'all write this down, I can talk about what I like.
For a bunch of weirdos. Football's for weirdos. That's not the cool joke like you want to know.
Who said that? I guess I'm a weirdo.
Yeah, I said it.
Football's football. They all play ball.
Who's ball?
You need to watch your mouth.
Oscar, what's the best?
I
Soccer?
watch my mom watch her.
Football's better than soccer. What?
Come at me like
Oh,
that.
soccer's the best.
Basketball.
Tennis.
Tennis is the best.
Alright.
Literally, some our ranks.
Hey, hey, hey. 9. Spread penny.
Go ahead. Read it.
I'm gonna take the phone.
Jay, my pick.
Yes.
You have a Sharpie?
9. 9 throw it.
Brandon, I have quick questions for you.
I'm a punch for you. 9.
Alright,
Which powers are members of Congress using?
ladies, gentlemen. Ladies, gentlemen, can I have your attention, please? Ladies.
Yeah.
Alright. Bree, you want to do this one?
I don't know the answer to it, but I'll do it.
Okay. You want to read the question?
Nah, I do it.
Which powers are members of Congress using when they question filmmakers and study their movies because they're considering legislation regarding violence in movies?
Alright. Tyler, what did the answer is?
A.
What did you say? What was the
I
first
said
answer?
B.
You said B? B is right.
B.
It is investigatory powers.
Because it's not in the Constitution.
He has in blood.
That's right.
No.
The answer is B. Now this would fall under the category of non-legislative powers. Guys, yeah, your notebook check is going to be today.
Do we have to have a table of contents?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Okay.
I don't have my notebook in. Tons and tons. In the book.
You can staple it.
Hey, I wasn't here on the Monday.
Right now. Ladies, gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Your notebook table of contents is on the board. If you don't have it, yes sir.
Put them back
Yes.
in.
Yeah. Alright, I will say, let me tell you this right now. I will give you time at the end of class to get your notebook in order and to work on anything you don't have done.
So it's not due yet?
It's not due right now. It'll be due at the end of class. That said, I will be giving you time to work on it in class. So please do not work on it during today's lesson. Please. Alright.
Is today's lesson going to include?
Now, today's lesson, we're going to be talking about Congress's committees.
So, let's start maybe.
Wrote my name in it.
Yeah. And today we're talking about the committees of Congress. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to take notes on this, then now is a good time to start doing stuff. But it's your choice whether to do anything in this class. I
No,
can't,
I'm saying like, do you want to?
if you like.
This isn't clarifying this.
Ladies and gentlemen, if taking notes helps you remember, I would recommend you take notes.
Okay. Did you read the what was it?
Malcolm, why are you here?
You should let us
What?
take notes on our phone.
I said don't tell her. I said do not tell her. Malcolm just like violated me.
Alright,
I'm gonna just like take pictures of all the slides. That is too much.
No, I'm gonna record it.
okay.
No, I need.
Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to be talking about congressional committees. And before we start talking about it, I would like to pose to you a question. So, the Senate has 100 members.
Can 100 people effectively?
Yes, and this is working as a group. So you have a group of 100 people acting as a whole. Can they examine the pros and the cons of a bill?
No.
Yes.
No.
Brandon, you said yes. Why do you believe that?
Because there's more than one person that can do it. I mean, you have different opinions from 100 people.
Okay. Alright, so one bill at a time you can do it. Correct? Alright. Alright, let me ask you a second question. What if you are receiving over 2,000 bills a year?
No.
Would it still be possible, Brandon?
2,000 bills a year?
Yeah.
No. You have to break it into four. You have to break the 100 people into four.
Right. Exactly. So, that's exactly what they do, Brandon. They break those 100 people into parts, the committees. Can you guys think of something? Okay, so these committees, they each have their own specific job, where they work on something specific, something unique. All right. Nobody else in Congress is gonna be working on that. Can you guys think of an analogy to that, something similar to that in school?
What's analogy?
Like,
No.
Analyzing.
break up
Analysis.
into, you know, you do like
Alright, so Tyron suggested when you break up into groups in school. What about anything else? Yes, sir.
Like different parts of a,
Assembly line.
yeah, kinda like that.
Oh, even more general. Where are you guys right now?
School.
No, where exactly?
Self.
What kind of?
American government.
Alright, you're in a government class, correct?
Yes.
You're in social studies. Okay. Guys, when you're in math, do you talk about social studies?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm talking about who has the homework.
Does your teacher talk about social studies?
Depends on the teacher.
Okay. Alright. Well, for the most part, each teacher is not going to try to teach you something besides what they do. Your math teacher is going to try to teach you social studies. I'm not going to try to teach you science. And your science teacher isn't usually going to teach you math or English.
What is the House Minority?
It's the leader of the minority party in the House.
I didn't write the notes on that. Did we get to that part?
Alright. So, the point I'm trying to make here that in each classroom, you only work on one thing. In here, you should only be working on social studies. In English, you should only be working on English. In these committees, they're only working on the stuff that committee deals with. For example, the Agriculture Committee only deals with agriculture. Yeah. The Foreign Intelligence Committee only deals with foreign intelligence. And so on and so forth. Yeah, it is. I mean, if you think about it, guys, ladies, gentlemen, everybody, every government class or every student in the school doesn't all gather together in like one room and get receive instruction at the same time. They have to be debroken up unless you're having an assembly. So very, very rarely, when only when yeah, but that's only when Jaden, when the whole school like meets together. Isn't that only for stuff that affects the whole school?
Would we go to the auditorium to learn about social studies?
Wait, so they each have their own like subject or specific?
Like when a person like a person that's famous or something, he needs to come and teach us something.
But that's something that the
That's
whole
something that's rare.
yeah, that's something the whole school needs to see, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, for example, the entire school would not meet in the auditorium for something about ninth graders or something about U.S. government. They would only meet in something that has to do with the whole school. And that's basically what these committees do. They pick out something they think is important enough that the whole Congress should vote on it, and then they deal with it. But most things go to a committee first before they go to just to Congress. All right. So, all right, inside Tyron, do you remember when you said you used an example of like doing group work in class?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what basically what this is like. These committees, these classes in Congress have subcommittees. So each of these subcommittees deal with something even more specialized. Guys, okay. For example, the House, let's say the House Foreign Relations Committee. Alright? They would have these different subcommittees that would deal with different parts of foreign relations, like different parts of the world. For example, they might have one section just about the Middle East, one section just about Europe, one subcommittee just about Europe. And they would only deal with the bills that have something to do with Europe or the Middle East. Brooke, what kind of subcommittees do you think the Agriculture Committee might have? What do you know what a subcommittee is?
Trace.
What?
Trace.
A subcommittee? Okay. All right. Fiona, what do you think?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
If like America is all one nation, why are we like putting bills on other countries and stuff? Like why are we deciding if we can pass the bills or not?
Well, we're not we're not taking, it's their bills about what we do with those countries. Like how we want to approach like our relationship with them.
So it's like if we did, tax with them and stuff?
Yeah, or like if we want to trade with them, or if we want to like put sanctions on them so we don't trade with them, stuff like that. Yes, sir.
Let's know about that.
What?
A subcommittee or?
A subcommittee. What would a subcommittee be in the, or where do you think a subcommittee might be in like the agriculture committee?
They would, like, there would be like, say, 10 bills they have to pass. They pick out certain ones that they think should be passed, and the other ones, they give it either way. Like, if, say, 5 of them can be passed, they move it up to the
Yeah.
full committee. But if only 5 of them can, they may move those up to either.
Okay. That's good. That's fair. What do you think? Like, what do you think those subcommittees would deal with? Though? Like each subcommittee would like give some examples of what you think a subcommittee would be.
Like, it depends on the.
What they would talk about.
It depends on which subcommittee, like, committee they're in.
Agriculture.
Like, just agriculture, farming, prices on stuff like that, habitat stuff.
Okay. That's very good. Thank you. Jacob, why do you think subcommittees are necessary? Why can't the whole committee just work on something? Yeah, Jacob.
Because something they'll give stuff to the subcommittee to do because they never combine.
So there's like a lot of different stuff that to deal with? Okay. Alright, that's good, thank you. Alright. Again, remember that these subcommittees, they don't go out, if you're in the agriculture, part of the agriculture committee, let's say you're on the subcommittee on farming, you're not going to go out and start talking about mining. You have to stick within the guidelines that the committee that you're a part of tells you to stay in. And the main function of these subcommittees is to look at different bills and to consider, okay, what are the positives of this? What are the negatives of this? Is this a really good idea? How much will this cost? Stuff like that. Ben, once the subcommittee looks at that and decides whether it's a good bill or a bad bill, what do you think they do?
Pass it or veto it.
Ben?
Pass it or veto it.
And they'll either, well, basically, yeah, they'll either pass it on, they'll pass it up to the full committee for votes, or they'll kill it then and there. Say, this is a terrible idea, I don't do it. Guys, is there a third option?
No. Yes, but.
Like put it to the side
You could,
later?
guys, you could, it starts with A.
Agriculture.
Amend it.
I was just gonna.
Yeah, you can amend it, you can change it. So these subcommittees, they could recommend that you change this bill in such and such a way to make it better. Alright. Yes, sir.
Isn't there a law that if, like, citizens send a new law to the principal,
To the Congress?
to the president, and he lets it sit for 10 days, it automatically becomes a law?
Not the Senate, but that's what the Congress does. If Congress passes a bill and the president doesn't do anything to it for 10 days, yeah, it becomes a law. So sometimes presidents do that just because it's either A, not worth signing, or B, they don't want to they don't want to veto it, but they don't really want to sign it and say they support it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because when you're signing something, you're basically saying you approve it. And and sometimes presidents don't think it's worth vetoing, but they don't want to say they approve it either. Alright. So, there are 3 types of committees in Congress. The first type is the standing committees. The reason they're called standing, okay, if you're in a committee, or not, if you're in Congress, right? There's a bunch of seats. Guys, what do people do in these seats?
What do people do? What?
in the seats of Congress. They sit in them. Everybody stay down.
Yeah.
So this standing committee, the reason they're called standing is that they're standing up and they're apart. They're set apart from the rest of the House, or the rest of the Senate. And these committees are permanent. Unless Congress decides that they don't need these committees anymore, they basically will exist indefinitely. And these, again, like this says, these standing committees, they have really broad jurisdiction. They have really big areas to deal with, like agriculture or foreign relations. The Agriculture Committee is going to deal with stuff that has to do with farming, farming, all kinds of different things. Has to do with, like, say, logging, fishing, basically anything that, I'm not sure if it extends into, like, mining, but I know it definitely extends into logging and fishing. It does? Yeah. And similarly, the Foreign Relations Committee will have, there's over 200 countries in the world, guys, and we have some sort of relationship with all of them.
200 countries?
Yes.
No, my hand looks weird.
Countries, yeah. Over 200 countries in the world. I believe the last number, I believe the last number that I saw was 216 countries in the world. 16. No, that does not include the individual states of the U.S.
No,
Georgia is a country, yes.
There's
it
not.
is.
Oh, Georgia.
I know it.
Oh, Georgia, the country in the Caucasus, yeah.
Yeah, right, it's like Russia.
Oh, yeah, that Georgia. They meant the state of Georgia.
There's a country called Georgia.
Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So right here. Okay. Also, really quickly, these two committees, where it says areas of continuing legislative concern, such as appropriations or rules, those committees, the government needs those. The Congress needs those to actually do its job. So, like, for example, the House Rules Committee. Without the House Rules Committee, the House of Representatives really would not be able to function. Okay, so right here at the bottom. The Senate has 17 committees and the House has 19 committees. Why do you think that is? Why do you think the House has more?
Because it's more
It's bigger. Alright. So next we're talking about select committees. These select committees, they were basically created to deal with one of two things. Either something that was temporary, that was really important, like Hurricane Katrina, the Gulf War, terrorism, 9/11. These select committees, they are created for stuff that requires really special attention. And there are other things. The important point that I want to look at is where it says that it lies outside the jurisdiction of other committees or demands special attention. So, guys, yes, ma'am.
Like if you're watching some criminal show like Criminal Minds or like if let's say if like this person's trying to ask an agent to do something and then the agent says that's not in my jurisdiction, does that have to do with the same thing? Like if they're in like the FBI, if they're in like a police officer and they can't like search, do like something an FBI can, is that what they mean?
Sort of. It's the Senate jurisdiction. What that word means is basically means what you have control over or oversight over. So I have jurisdiction over this classroom. And Ms. Jordan has jurisdiction over me. And then, yeah.
Like you can't like you can't expel us.
Right. And like there's more than one person or more than one group can have jurisdiction over something. Well, for like, okay. Like there's something called concurrent jurisdiction, so that more than one group can have control over something. So like you could say that me and Ms. Jordan have concurrent jurisdiction. We both have authority over you. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And then you could also say that the administration also has concurrent administration.
You got a phone call.
It does that at least like.
Okay.
Hello.
So example, alright, ladies and gentlemen, an example of a select committee I want to point out to you is the Select Committee on Intelligence. And intelligence refers to, spying.
Like Jake Blunt?
CIA.
Yeah. So my question for you is, why is spying, this intelligence, why is that considered that it needs a select committee for it?
Because it's secret.
Okay.
Because if somebody else that does it, I don't know, if somebody else does it that they're not supposed to, it's like, kind of illegal or something.
Okay.
Bad.
When we talk about about standing committees, do we say that their overview was broad or specific?
Broad.
It was broad. Yeah. The standing committees, they have. Okay. One second. The standing committees, they have broad jurisdiction. All right. Intelligence. All right. Tyron, you're right. It does need to be secret. Shayla, you're right. We don't. What did you say again?
I said that they're not supposed to do it. No, what did I say? I don't know what I said.
Okay, well, it is something that needs congressional oversight, because we can't just have our spies running down doing whatever they want. But at the same time, it's not really something that's that broad. It's a really kind of specific thing. It's a specific thing that needs constant and immediate attention. So that's why there's a select committee for it, which is permanent. But other stuff like Hurricane Sandy or Hurricane Katrina, that stuff was temporary. You don't need a permanent committee to deal with Hurricane Katrina. Hurricane Katrina is over, guys. That storm came to went.
Watch it come back just because you said it would.
So even though it needed special attention at the time, it doesn't need special attention right now. Right. The next type of committees I want to talk about are joint committees. And they are exactly what they sound like. Most of the time, committees will be either in the House.
They're the elbows.
Basically. They hold two things together. Yeah, they connect them.
See, I wasn't being serious. I was being serious.
Yeah. Yeah, so, yes, Tyron.
How do you get so high?
You get trained by the CIA.
Like,
You apply for it until you get another job, actually. You either apply for it or you get
I'd
recruited.
like to work for the CIA. That's fine.
But you can put in,
Like
guys,
scared.
shh. If you're interested in a career in intelligence, the CIA does have an internship program for high schoolers. So if that's something that you're actually interested in, I would advise you to go online and apply for it. Because if they accept you, you would have basically a fast track to A, a really good college, more than likely, to look great in your resume, and B, a fast track to work in the CIA. Yes, ma'am.
Don't you have to have like karate and like martial arts stuff?
The CIA, while we're on the subject, the CIA does a lot of different stuff. They have their field operatives who basically go out and recruit agents. Guys, these field operatives, commonly referred to as case officers, they don't go out and do the spying themselves. They find people in these different countries that want to work for the United States, that want money, that have some sort of motivation, that want to get out of their country. And then they basically find traders. The CIA finds traders, and then they get those traders to give us information.
don't Russia have someone down on us?
Yeah, Russia's done. Yeah, every country that has a serious intelligence service does the same thing.
But it would be a spy. That's like Spy Kids, like a movie, right?
The CIA does have covert operatives.
I'm all like,
I have a question.
Okay, all right.
What?
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead. What's your question?
No, I was just wondering, what is the word that means to make rules about?
Legislate.
You know it's hot.
I don't know.
What the
I-
heck?
Probably, I don't know.
Wait, let me see your.
Regulate.
Regulate.
Okay. Anyway. Alright, anyway.
Teamwork.
Alright. Getting back to this, the joint committees. They are committees made up of both members of the House and members of the Senate. So they come together to work on something that they think is important. For example, alright, let's say that I am a member of the House of Representatives, and I wrote a bill that the air conditioning in every government building has to be set on 67 degrees. 67. That's what my bill says, alright? And let's say it gets passed. Or let's say in the Senate, they think that's absurd. They pass a bill that says that the air in every government building has to be set on 80 degrees.
It's bike time.
So, obviously these bills, ladies, gentlemen, obviously these bills have differences. So the point of these bills, the point of these conference committees is to resolve the differences in these bills. Figure out what's different in these bills and how to resolve the differences. Ladies, gentlemen, put your cell phones away if they're out.
It was an emergency. That's okay.
Alright. Moving on. Just like in the school, where most of your work you do in the classroom, in Congress, most of the work happens in committee. The committees do the heavy lifting. So each committee is going to get assigned these bills that apply to them. And then they'll decide, okay, is this something that we want to pursue? Or are we going to move forward with this? Or are we not going to move forward with it? And then if it goes from if the subcommittee approves it, it'll go to the full committee. If the full committee approves it, it'll go to the House or the Senate floor. If they approve it, it'll go to the other house. And if they approve it, it goes to the president. If you're a committee chairman, you do have quite a bit of influence over what bills move forward and which ones don't. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I was gonna ask Mr. Jordan something.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
All right. Well, again,
That was awkward.
these committees do need some sort of supervision, and these committee chairmen, they provide that, or chair people. They don't have to be women. So they assign certain bills to certain people, to certain subcommittees, and then from there they can decide whether or not they want to take a vote on it, whether they actually want to go forward with it. All right. So we're going to start by talking about the Senate. Okay. So the Senate in total has 92 committees just for the Senate. There's 100 people in the Senate and 92 committees. Guys, how does that work?
Two people to each committee.
No.
How many committees do you think somebody can serve on?
A lot.
One. More than one.
More than one. Yeah, they can serve on, I believe the number is 2 or 3 committees. Yeah, so if you're in the Senate, you can serve on multiple committees. Yes, sir.
No, I already know that Congress, people in Congress, they can vote. They vote for the people on stuff that the people want. But like, do they have like an individual vote? Like, can they still vote like a normal citizen?
Oh yeah, they can. Oh, you mean like when they vote in elections?
Yeah.
Yes, members of Congress and even the president can vote in elections.
So they can vote for the people and they can vote for themselves.
Yes.
I mean, like vote like normal.
Yeah. election day, every time, for example, in 2012, when Obama and Romney were running for president against each other, on election day, Barack Obama went and cast a vote for himself. I promise you that.
You did?
Yes.
Did he think he was gonna lose or something?
I mean, you never know. Every vote counts, right?
Wait, is it possible for him to
No, be
change the
quiet.
Constitution so that he'll be able to
Yeah.
No, he
get
can't.
reelected? That's what I've been doing.
Guys, ladies, gentlemen, the president does not change the Constitution by himself. That power is given to the Congress and the states. The Congress has to propose amendments, then approve it, and then the states have to ratify it. Or the states have to propose it, and then the states ratify it. But either way, the president isn't really involved. Yes, ma'am.
This is gonna sound really stupid, but what can the president do by himself? Like, what can he
The
do?
presidents can veto bills, which he can propose bills to Congress. Like,
So he just does.
he issues instructions to executive agencies, like telling them how to do their job, basically.
It's like a
Like,
showcase
pants
member.
so
Doesn't
out.
the Congress tell him?
Didn't Michelle
He
Obama-
manages foreign policy.
Mr. Bassett,
Yes, sir.
doesn't the Congress tell him mostly everything though? Isn't he just like the leader that gets told everything to do?
That's the way it was in the early years of our country.
So where's he gonna go after he gets,
But-
after he's 4 years old?
Today, in this day and age, a lot more power goes to the president than you would think. The president usually is the leader of his party. He takes the initiative in deciding what laws would be passed, and he manages foreign policy. And he's the public image of the United States government in an age that's dominated by the TV and internet. So when you turn on the TV, you see President Obama. You don't see John Boehner or Mitch McConnell. You see Barack Obama. Yes, ma'am.
I heard the president don't get paid that much.
He doesn't get what?
Compared to, like,
Paid that much?
football athletes.
Yeah.
He makes,
Compared to
I think he makes $250,000 a year.
That's still a lot.
But I mean, to become president, you have to have already made some money. Yeah, made some money somewhere else.
He was rich
Yes,
before
sir.
he was president.
Is that why most people like to blame Obama for a lot of things?
Like to blame.
Because he's the person they see. He is the person they see.
But like if you listen to what he said, you know.
Well, yeah.
Like, all right.
I'm talking about
Yeah, hold on, ladies, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to address, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to address what the point that Tyron just made. He just asked, is that why people blame the president? All right. You remember our warm-up yesterday? It was asking, would it be right to blame just the president for the Congress having a deficit?
No.
Are they going to have a deficit? And the answer was no, it's not. It's Congress has a lot to do with it. Congress actually sets the budget. Yes, sir. Yes, we're doing our notebook check today. All right.
President makes $400,000.
All right. All right. We're gonna wrap up here. I'm gonna give you time.
Enjoy the Oscar breast night taco.
All right. All right. I'm gonna give you some time to get your notebook together, get it stapled, to get it in order. If you don't have it done, get it done. The stapler is over here. Actually, I'll put it over here. Right. The stapler and the hole puncher are over here.
Not attacking.
Where's your
Hey, do you want to see
Here's your basket. When you have it ready, come and turn it into the basket.
Is that legislative?
Yes.
How do you?